people, by the way. Thank you so much for all you do for us. But then I bring you greetings from the hill, and they want you to know that if you are not on the hill today, you're missing. All right. So today we'll be talking about warmth, and this is something that is very interesting, and it means a lot to me. Warmth in business, warmth in human interactions. All right. It's the entrepreneurship class, so we'll be tilting more towards business today. Um, but then I want us to also know that when we talk about warmth, it's not just for business owners. It goes beyond just customers. So for the church, for instance, the people that come to church, so for everything I say, when I say customers, see it as you can interpret it as the people that come to church. It could also be the people that you are, maybe your subordinates at work. It's not just streamlined to business only. But warmth is really important. At the end of this talk, at the end of this meeting, I would want it to be that when we see people do certain things, you know how you tell people that, oh, you need Jesus when they do some kind of things. I would want you to say, oh, you need warmth in your life because, yeah, it's that important. So, the science of warmth, media help me. We'll just talk about a few things today, and then next week we'll go to Japan. All right. Okay. Thank you. Next week we'll go to Japan, and when I say we're going to Japan, we'll talk about certain concepts. It will make you feel like you're almost in Japan. So the science of warmth, we'll be talking about we'll be talking about how warmth builds trust and connection, why emotional intelligence is key in the service industry and service delivery. Then we'll talk about warmth and competence. So when we say warmth, what comes to mind? It's beyond customer service. I Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Gabriel Osugbo. I'm the warmth coach. I'd like to see it that way because what I'm trying to do in my career field is introduce the concept of warmth, not just normal customer service. I'm not particular about meeting the needs of customers. Warmth goes beyond that. And when we say that, you hear a lot of warmth today. You hear a lot of things about warmth. So when we say warmth is beyond customer service is more like, let's see it as black and white, right? Like the customer needs your help and then you're there to meet it. Warmth goes beyond that. Warmth is you're adding colors to the customer. You are adding an experience. So the definition of warmth that I like to use most times is this. Warmth is the quality of being friendly. Is that quality of being human to someone else, right? And the interesting thing about this is that human beings have always been wired for warmth. When a baby is giving birth to, there's the need for warmth for that baby, right? So we've been wired that way. And what the baby would usually do, before the baby even begins to like reason by logic, he tilts towards warmth first, right? So the baby would usually do things. He would usually go for the people that are warm to him, the people he or she is familiar with, before he goes ahead to start reasoning whether the person is competent enough. So let's start with warmth and competence. In business, these are two concepts that are very important. Now, people would always judge you by warmth and then by competence. Now, competence says that you are able to do whatever it is that they are coming to you for. Warmth says that, can I trust you? Right? Now, for everything you've heard in the entrepreneurship class so far, we've been building competence. You have learned you've learned about businesses, you've learned about how to register your business, you've learned about the legal sides, you've learned about taxes and everything. But today we are going to balance it out with warmth. All right. So this is why warmth matters in business. Yes. In today's market, people buy from those that they feel connected. have a business that maybe sells clothes. There are 1,000 people selling clothes, right? What differentiates one business from the other? Most times it's not even the quality. Of course, competence is really important. But then people also they want to be sure that this person cares about me. It's beyond just having to do transactional service. Emotions are being involved. Warmth is your competitive advantage. It's beyond just customer service. Now, people would always buy from people that they feel connected to. Now, how do you connect to people? This is what we'll be talking about today. How do you ensure that people are connected to your brand? How do you ensure that people do not just see you or do not just feel like they are another commodity to you, but then they are really important to you? Now, warmth will build loyalty, advocacy, and long-term relationships. So I started something recently called Quivers Consulting. Now, for Quivers, what I'm trying to do is a warmth revolution. That's what I'm trying to do with Quivers, basically. We're trying to see how, in the Nigerian market and, of course, globally, people would learn how to treat customers better. Now, I am doing all of this out of frustration and hope. Frustration because I have seen how people are being treated. I have seen how customers have been treated like customers deserve to be treated better. I've seen how people are treated like they don't really matter. And it hurts me because I'm in the service industry. When you go to get something from people, it's almost as though you're doing them a favor. There was a time on, I think it was everywhere, how a particular hair vendor on Instagram was insulting her clients, telling them things like, how much did you even pay? I'll mess you up, I'll do. And this is your customer. How is it even possible? I think we should even have like a service jail for people, where you, if you are being unfair to your customers, or if you are being rude to customers, we'll just take you to service jail. Maybe we'll have that by Quivers. But then it's a passion for me. Now, customers deserve to be in a place where they know that you are not just running transactions with them. Customers want to feel seen. These customers want to feel like they are human beings to you. I gave an example the last time I was here where I said that imagine two scenarios. Someone approaches me. Let's say I walk in. Let's use the bank because I know bankers do this a lot. Someone approaches me and I'm walking, and then the guy comes. Hello, my name is Mr. Lagbaja, and I'm like, all right, Mr. Lagbaja, how are you doing? Now this is me the whole time. I'm on my system doing something. What can I do for you today, Mr. Lagbaja? And yeah, my account has this and that. All right, take this, write your account number, and all of that. And then he gives it to me. The whole time my head is down, working. He gives it to me. I do whatever it is I'm doing. All right, Mr. Lagbaja, we've resolved it for you. Mr. Lagbaja is happy. Oh, yes, thank you. You've done the work, right? Now imagine Mr. Lagbaja approaching me, and then maybe because I've seen him before, I greet him and I say, good morning, Mr. Lagbaja. How can I assist you today? And he tells me, and I'm looking at him the whole time, right? He tells me, oh, this is what I have to do. Oh, I'm so sorry you're experiencing this. Please write your account number, or have this and write your account number. He does that. He gives it to me. I do it and then tell him that, okay, in about, say, 2 hours, you would have this resolved, okay? And then Mr. Lagbaja would feel more human because I connected to him. It's not just as though I treated him like another commodity. Now, if you ask the customer service person, he will tell you that he has done his job because he met the need of Mr. Lagbaja. But we want to go beyond that. We want to give that plus one. We want to give that added experience to customers. It's really important for your business. This is what will differentiate you from other people. When I go to the market to buy stuff, I like to cook, all right? When I go to the market to buy stuff, it's as bad as if I don't see a particular woman I buy stuff from, I will go back. It happened like that one time. So one Saturday morning, I went there to buy something, and she wasn't there. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just check back later. This is not because she's the only one who sells things there. There are other people. And then by the time I went back later, or I think I went back the following week, I cooked something else, and I got by for that week. By the following week, when I went there, she was there, and I was like, oh, I came to look for you, and I didn't see you. She said, oh, that every Saturday that she has her prayer meeting in church, and so she's usually not around. Now, what's the lesson here? The reason why I am always going to go back to that woman is because at a particular time when I went to the market, I wanted to get something. She didn't have it. She sent her son to go get that thing for me. And then I was just there waiting. The son brought it for me. And that was the defining moment for me. That was what made me loyal to her. I do not want to have someone who tells me that, oh, I don't have this, and then because maybe I'm not very sure about how things work in the market, I'll now have to start going around. But she knew where to get it. She knew the person that would help me get that. And then she sent her son that, go to this particular place. Now, for every time I need something, maybe I need to grind something. Now, the woman would always say, oh, go to this particular place. This is the woman you would meet. This other person does this. Things like that, as little as that, I would always go back to that woman. Now, this is what warmth can do for you in your business. Your customers will be loyal to you. We don't just want a situation where, as someone patronizes you for the first time, that's just it. You get that patronage and then you're good to go. It's very important that people keep coming back to you. And when people keep coming back to you, that's the only way you can, you're sure of getting growth in your business. Now, it's also very important that you know that the cost of acquiring a new customer, like it's 5 times more expensive to retain an old one. No, to get a new customer than it is to retain an old one. I'll explain. So if, for instance, someone comes to me and then I am able to display warmth at the first time, at the first instance to that person, there is that possibility. There's a huge chance that that person will be a repeat customer. Now, the marketing I would have to do to now get a new person, having to put out ads on Instagram. So imagine that in a year, for instance, you have 20 loyal customers, people that will keep coming back to you. And these same customers are able to tell like 5 more people. By the next year, you have 100 customers. And this customer, no, you have 120 customers. Because if these customers are able to tell like 5 people each, and they keep coming back to you, you have 120 customers. But if a customer is dissatisfied with whatever it is you have done, that customer is going to tell 9 to 15 people. And that's bad for your business already, right? There are certain people you want to reach out to. If I want to buy stuff, for instance, I check the reviews online. Oh, this person has a bad customer record, or this person, they did not respond to me on time. This happened, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It's already bad for me. I would not patronize you. We check reviews online before we do certain things. Now, it's very important that you take these things. It's very important that you treat your people as much as you're competent. I'm not saying you should not be competent, but then what competence will do for you is it will bring people to you. Oh, he knows how to do this. Fine. But warmth will keep them. Competence will bring them, but warmth will keep them. So it doesn't matter whether you know how to do your stuff. It doesn't matter whether you know your onions. People are always going to go to the people that they connect more with. All right? Okay, so where competence fails, warmth comes to the rescue. Something happened in, I think it was the year 2005 or 2009. I'm not sure yet. It happened with Lexus. It's on the internet. We can check it. So a man went there. He went to their dealership to service his car. He gave them his car, and then they gave him an ES350, right? A Lexus ES350. What happened was, when he was driving, something happened, and he could not get the car to stop. It was a very tragic thing because I listened to it. I think I saw it on TikTok at some point. I listened to it because the man was contacting. He called 911 and was telling them everything that was happening, that he can't seem to get the car to stop. Now, in that car, he had his wife, he had his daughter, and he had like another family member, 4 of them, right? Now, they kept going. There was no way they could they could stop the car, right? And then eventually they crashed. All 4 of them died. It was really bad for Lexus. Now, what that did was that it impacted their market so bad because they had to pay fines, and you know how things work out there, like outside Nigeria. If it's in Nigeria, they'll tell you, they'll just apologize and move on. Now they had to pay a lot in fines and all of that. What happened was it costs Toyota, because Toyota owns Lexus. It cost them so much that they had to recall. It cost them so much that they had to recall that brand of car for that year. They recalled everything, and then they now had to do their. It was a mechanical fault. It was Toyota's fault, right? It was Toyota's fault, and then what that did was it cost them a whole lot of money. Now, where did warmth come in? The fact that they were able to, excuse me, sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you. All right, the fact that they were able to recall that brand, the brand of that car for that year, showed customers that these people care about us. Now, Lexus has grown to have like more ES350s after that, okay? So it's very important that warmth is taken into consideration. Now we'll go into first impressions and emotional impacts. First impressions matter because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. It's very important that when customers approach you, there is that they should be able to say that, okay, this is the first time I'm patronizing this business, and this is my first impression of them, which means that your best foot must always be put forward. You don't get to a point where you are, you just treat people anyhow. Now, I have experiences, and I'll tell you as we go along this talk. The first time I visited a particular ice cream shop somewhere in Yaba, it was the first time. They had just opened, I think, that month or so. I wanted to have the experience. I went there, and they were so excited to see me. They're like, hello, you're welcome. And I was like, oh, okay, this is really good. This was last year. By the time I went there this year, everywhere was quiet. Now, the reason I went back again was because first impression, right? By the time I went back this year, I had to ask, because if you give me bad service, I'll tell you this thing you're doing doesn't make sense. So I asked them, I was like, what happened? What happened to the energy you guys had the first time I came in? They're like, oh, sorry. So I asked them if it was the economy, if things were going bad with their business. They're like, no, we are just tired. Now, this is me coming back for the second time. Imagine if that's someone's first impression. Now, at the first time I visited them, they were really energetic. I felt like, when you go to certain places and it feels like home, it feels like these people really care about me. These people, they're happy to see me, right? For most businesses, you go there and it's almost as if, okay, what can we do for you? Or this is what you want. This is how much it costs. You get it, and that's all. You can do better. Businesses can do better. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You can always introduce warmth. Now, in the very little ways, it could be as simple as, and the whole concept of warmth is not an expensive one. It's not something you have to break the bank for. Now, for certain organizations, for big hotels like the Ritz-Carlton, they empower their staff I think every staff is empowered with up to about $2,000 to take initiative and then help. We'll talk about that later. To take initiative and then help customers. Now, warmth doesn't have to be the very big thing. It could be that someone tells you, or a customer tells you that, I want to make, because God, I run God, I do stuff like this. A customer tells me that, I have to make clothes for my children, right? And then this particular one is growing really fast. For everything I made for him like 3 months ago, he has outgrown them already. How can I display warmth in that? Now, like I said, it doesn't have to cost you a lot, right? It's as simple as doing whatever it is they asked for, and then making maybe a size, if it's something that they want to use for a long time, making a size, another shirt that is a size bigger than whatever it is I have made, a size higher than what I had made earlier. I've done it before, and that's why I'm saying this. And then give it to the business, to the customer. Now, what this means for the person is, you heard me. You heard that this is a problem for me, right? And you were able to do this, it means you care about me. And from that same customer, that family, I have gotten referrals. I've had them say things like, oh, if you need someone to do something for you, you can always reach out to Gabriel. He's very competent. Now, my warmth made them stay, but they will always refer to my competence. You get it? Competence will bring your customers, warmth will keep them. And because warmth will keep them, they will always refer to your competence. So competence is very important also. Okay. So there's another thing I am doing with Quivers Consulting. With Quivers Consulting, I also do tone training, right? So your tone really matters. Your tone, facial expression, body language. If someone comes to me, there's this funny thing that happens in Nigeria, in our country, where people use the right words, but with the very wrong tone. They could be very polite with their words, but you know that this person is. For instance, they say that, please, Oga, I'm waiting for you. Oga, please, I'm waiting for you. To you, it feels like to the person who said it, to them, they've said please, and that's polite enough, right? But then, your tone matters. If you go ahead and say, oh, please, I'm still waiting for you, or let's use this one. There's a way you say things. If I'm calling a customer, and I'm telling the customer, but I called you, you didn't pick, that's wrong. That's a really wrong tone, right? It's different when you now say things like, oh, I called, but there was no response. You see the difference? You don't like try to put blames on customers. You don't make them feel like, but it's your fault. There are certain, we try to, in the service industry, because I've done that before, right? You do certain things sometimes, and you are trying to take the blame off your shoulders. You're trying to make it look like, at the end of the day, I did my best. You just didn't do what was expected of you. But at that point, the customer is not looking for a blame shift, We are not trying to shift blames at that point. You're trying to meet needs. You're trying to connect with the customer. So at Quivers, we do tone training. You can say the same thing in different ways, and it would mean differently. It will mean different things to people. It's very important that our tone matters. Our tone it communicates how much people mean to us. So if someone is saying that, oh, please, you can have your seat, sir. And if somebody say, please have your seat, it's the same thing, but said in a different way. Okay? So tone is very important. Our body language also matters. Then warmth influences customer perception and loyalty from the first moment. So first impression matters. The way we reach out to people, the way you never know if it's their first time reaching out to your business, especially for people who have walk-in customers. You can never tell if this is the first time this person is patronizing. So you don't look at the fact that this is somebody I've been nice to. Always ensure that you put your best foot forward. That's very important. Now, warmth in customer service, it is more than being polite. I've said that. It is about being human. Now, you have to listen attentively, listen actively, speak kindly, and then show empathy. Empathy is what we don't have in this country. In Nigeria, in businesses, empathy is lacking. We need to get to a point where you put yourself in the customer's shoes. Sometimes, if we are being honest, some of the complaints we get, if you look at it, it doesn't really make sense like that. But it's how the customer is feeling. Sometimes when someone is complaining that you took his... Okay, I used to work in telecommunications. When a customer would call to say that you guys took my 15 naira for caller tune. I never wanted caller tune. Now, the person probably recharged 100 naira to do midnight bundle. To you as the customer service person, you're thinking, is it because of 15 naira this person is complaining like this? But that 15 naira meant a lot to the guy. See, you have to get to that point where you don't look at it from where you are standing. You have to put yourself in the customer's shoes. You have to see things from their own lenses. Maybe that guy now plan to use that 15 naira, that 100 naira for. It doesn't even have to be 15 naira, because then, for the telecommunications company I worked for, it was really bad. Customers will know. You can see the customer's history. You can see that he never asked for this. But then we call them value-added services. There's an app, right, where they just subscribe this thing for free. No, not even for free. The person did not ask. They just give you the thing. Sometimes it comes as a pop-up, and as you're trying to clear it, you've subscribed already, right? Now, that guy, that 20 naira, that 15 naira he took from his 100 naira, who knows if he subscribed so that he could talk to the love of his life, maybe chat with her on Facebook or something, or the Hausa man that stays up at night to talk to his people on the internet, and every night they know that, okay, by this time this person is supposed to text me, and then you took his 15 naira. Now, to you, it seems like it's just 15 naira, but to the person, it's important. So when you're talking to people like that, you never say things like, is it because of this? I went to a particular store. I don't want to call names, but they've been everywhere lately, right? Their name ends with a U. Oh, yeah. I went to the store, and a customer had issues with, I think, with the bakery. I'm sure you should know these people already. And he was trying to, like, express his displeasure. And then the driver that was supplying them came from nowhere and was like, how many bread are you even buying, Oga? You are buying just one bread and you are just shouting everywhere. And that was what broke the camel's back, because that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because everybody there just had something to say. So everyone started complaining that your customer service is bad, you guys are very terrible. And then people started telling, everyone started telling their own story. Now, I don't want to prophesy doom, but I feel like if we have another store that is offering the same service, that these same people selling the same products and offering the same service that these same people are offering. In fact, it doesn't have to be another store that has cheaper products. People want to feel respected. I want to know that I'm going to buy, I don't care if you are selling something for 250 and then other people are selling it for 350. If I'm going to be respected where I'm buying it for 350, I'll go there. So this driver came to say, how much are you? You are even buying one when people are buying things worth of 150. I had to speak up too, because I would not see bad service and keep quiet. I was like, you don't have to say this. You are wrong for this. And most times, these people would say these things because they've never owned a business. This person doesn't even know what it means to sell biscuits. His own is to be a driver and then deliver stuff. And that's why he would say things like this. Now, I wouldn't blame him, because John C. Maxwell would say that everything rises and falls on leadership, right? I would blame the leadership. If people are properly trained, if you train your staff, if you teach them, most people will only act by what they know, right? So they can only feel that way because maybe that guy was a bus driver before, and then he got the job to drive trucks for that particular store. And then now he's feeling that whatever it is that was applicable to him as a driver is the same that is here. Now, to the owner of the business, he's probably somewhere living his life, money is coming in. But I tell you, if that continues, a time will come when people would feel that I don't feel respected here. I don't feel like, why are you making it look like you are doing me a favor for buying from you? It doesn't make sense, right? And I'm sure some of us have experienced that. And I hope if you have your own business, I hope you don't get to do that. And if you have staff, maybe you're the person who is not there when you're not always in your place, in your business place. You need to train your staff. You need to tell them. You need to let them know that, see, these customers are our assets. They are very important. It's beyond being nice to them. You need to show them what warmth really means, okay? Now I'll just talk about some case studies. I'll talk about Starbucks. Now, in displaying warmth, there's something Starbucks did. I said something earlier about how it doesn't have to cost a lot. The whole idea of writing your name on the coffee cup means a lot to customers. There's a personalization it gives to customers, you know. The fact that you can see your name, or they call you by your name, is very important. For Ritz-Carlton, I'll give you a story. I think I said it here the last time. How a family went there on vacation. Now, what most businesses try to do, the founder or the co-founder of Ritz-Carlton said something. He said that he has told his people that you are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. You have to see yourself as a person of influence. You have to see you have to see yourself as an important person. And that gives you the mindset that you are serving important people also. So he told them that in the lifetime of a customer, if this person comes, let's say every Christmas, if this person comes to, let's use Lagos for vacation every Christmas, we want to ensure that since he has come to this hotel the first time, the first year, every year he comes, he must come back to this hotel. That's the mindset they work with. So they ensure that every customer gets the best experience. Now, how did they do that? A particular family went on vacation, and then by the time they left, their son forgot his stuffed animal at the hotel. Now, what they did to display to display warmth was the hotel staff. Like I said, warmth doesn't have to cost you a lot. Because the child said he wasn't going to sleep until he gets the stuffed animal. The hotel staff took that particular stuffed animal, and then he made videos, right? The toy was by the pool, and then he made videos saying that, oh, see, I think the name was Josh. He said, Josh is chilling by the pool. He misses you so much. And then he took him to like the playground around the hotel. Oh, see where Josh is. Josh is sleeping by your bed, and he misses you so much. He'll be with you. Now, because of that, the customers were the parents were really thrilled, because they had something to show to the child. The child was not going to sleep. But when they saw that and then they showed it to the child, it made the child feel, okay, yes, that my toy is just having an extra vacation. Of course, they sent it back to the child, but that particular gesture meant a lot. It will mean a lot if you do little things. And let me give you an expo, something I've seen that works for business people. If you have clients that have children, the best way to win people's hearts is through their children, right? You can't get like big stuff for the parents. Let's say you are a wristwatch vendor. You sell wristwatches, right? And then you know that your client buys wristwatches into like millions and the rest. And you know his child is a Ben 10 fan. Look for a Ben 10 wristwatch. And then, like, if the man is buying a wristwatch worth maybe 5 million naira, of course there are wristwatches like that, or buying something of high value, put the Ben 10 wristwatch there, right? It would mean a lot to the man. It would show him that, oh, this person is actually thinking about my child. Now, there's something some real estate people do, and this is for people in real estate. For some of them, they ensure that after they've closed the deal and you've bought your property from them, there's a bottle of wine waiting for you in the fridge on the counter when you open the house, and they say, oh, congratulations, right? Now, someone said that, I read in a book where the person said that he heard the client's wife saying that, oh, I can do my yoga by this side because the window is here and then light comes in. What did they do? When the customer bought the property, there was a new yoga mat waiting there for them. Now, what is a property? What's a yoga mat to a property? I don't know if you understand. It's the little things. You don't have to break the bank. You don't have to do anything big. Just pay attention to details. People want to know that, oh, this person is actually listening to me. It's about thoughtfulness. Okay? So you get to that point where you're very intentional. People would know that, oh, this person is actually listening. Okay? Lululemon, for instance. There was a time with Coca-Cola also where we had this thing, names on their bottles. For me, because of course, I didn't see Gabriel anywhere, right? But a particular person, like then, I was still in school. I think I can't remember, maybe in my final year in school then. And then someone in my fellowship then because Coca-Cola came to school and they were doing it for people. So you walk up to them and you tell them that this is the name I want, right? And the person then in school, they called me P-Gabe. The person made a can for me with P-Gabe. I drank the cocoa, but if you check my guitar, there's P-Gabe on it because I peeled it off the Coke can, and then I had it on my guitar. It meant a lot to me that someone could do something as little as that. So Coca-Cola did that. Lululemon, that's a clothing brand. What they did was they deliberately put their table, the table where they fold clothes, right? They deliberately put it beside the dressing room, right? So that their staff can eavesdrop on the conversations of their customers. It's a deliberate thing. So what they do is while you're folding clothes, if the customer is saying that, oh, I feel like this fabric is too speak, they've taken notes already, you know, and then they're able to get feedbacks like that and make customer experience better. Please, if you have questions, you can just write them. For difficult customer experiences, you can just write them because time is fast spent. Then building a warmth culture internally, it's very important. It must start from within the team, and this has to do with bosses. Bosses need to know that everything rises and falls on leadership. The way you treat your people is the way they will treat their own staff, in their own customers in turn. So you don't feel like I see some people do certain things, and it just tells me that they must have seen their boss speak bad of a particular customer. So you don't go ahead and tell your people things like, this customer is a troublesome person, and then not expect them to have that. Even if they don't say it to the customer, they already have that disposition towards the customer. So whenever the customer comes, Mr. Troublesome is here, and they already have their guards up that this man is going to cause trouble and I'm ready for him today. We don't want that for business. We don't want that for warmth culture. All right? You can reward caring behavior and not just performance. Okay? We're actually on slide 7, media. Thank you. You can reward caring behavior and not just performance. And this is very common with salespeople. If you are in a company that has sales, that does sales, the priority is given to salespeople most times. They just want to focus on sales, right? And sales. They award the person who has like the most sales for the month, right? And that's all. What about the experience? We also want to know the staff who is connecting well with customers, who is showing warmth to customers. So we can also reward caring behavior. Then leaders must model empathy, humility, and respect. The respect you show to your people is the respect they will show to their own, to the customers that they meet eventually. Now, customer experience strategy with warmth. It's possible. You can make warmth part of every touch point. It doesn't matter whether you are seeing the customer or you are sending emails to them or you are speaking to them on the phone. Warmth is possible. You don't need to see them. It's the way you talk to them. It's the way you pay attention to them. It's the little details, right? Sometimes you talk to people, you talk to certain businesses, and it's almost as if this person just wants to give me a scripted answer, right? Or we are sorry, sir. We apologize. We can't assist at this very moment. Please ensure that you reach back to us if there's no. It doesn't have to be robotic. Sometimes, right? You can give your scripted answer, and this is something that works for me, right? You do things like, so let's say someone tells you that, oh, I'm having this problem. This is happening to me. I'm not happy about what you guys did to my products. This is what happened. And after the customer is done, of course, you have to let them talk. People want to be heard. I've realized that adults are like big babies sometimes. They just want to complain. They want to rant, and they want you to listen. Listen to them. Go ahead, apologize, and then instead of saying, oh, we apologize, we can't, we apologize you're having this experience, a little trick I use is say things like, oh, I'm so, that's oh, right? It's very simple, but it's, oh, I'm so sorry. Or if it's somebody you're talking to, right, you tilt your head to the it's funny, but you tilt your head to the side a bit, and you're like, I really understand. I understand how you feel, you know. But if you have a customer complaining to you, and you're like this, there's already that hostility. They feel like this person is not even listening to me. Body language matters a lot too. So they are talking to you, and you are like this. You're listening to them, and with your head tilted, don't do this, okay? But with your head tilted a bit, and you're listening. The customer is speaking, and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I apologize you're having this. I understand how you feel. Then you go ahead and give your scripted response. Don't be a robot and just talk to customers like that. Warmth can be measured in service, and this is by feedbacks. You can measure warmth. For you to know how warm your business has been, you can do this by getting feedbacks from customers. That's something I've tried to do. For every order or purchase I get, in recent times, I send like a Google form. I let them know that I want to know like your experience. Now, common mistakes that people make, robotic responses, which is what I've spoken about, ignoring the tone. Now, there is a book that there's a book I put together. It's a free resource just for this class. I would like you to get it. You can scan the barcode and get it. It's 16 mistakes that small businesses make. It's straight to the point. The mistake and how to fix it. The mistake and how to fix it. So if you're a small business owner, I think you would like that. Media, help me with the QR code. Yes. Okay. I'm just running by my slide. Now, warmth as a competitive advantage. Warmth is very important. And I'll tell you guys a story. It's a sad story. It happened to me, but it was how a particular business used warmth to ban me. I think that's the word. I was scammed because of warmth. Let me explain. And this is why competence is important. If you don't balance warmth and competence, you will definitely fall into error. So what happened was this. I reached out to this brand at some point in January, and I was like, I need to get a product from you guys. Of course, this guy, I don't know if they studied my life to know that I like warmth a lot. So they were really polite. Like, that's the best service I've gotten till date. They were really polite. They made me really comfortable. And then by the time I was done with them, I realized that these guys had scammed me over ₦1 million. Gone, just like that. The product was never delivered. Yes, and that was my fault. And what happened was this. I allowed warmth to take me away. I know I'm a warmth person, but you have to balance with the competence. So I'm just telling you this. So it doesn't matter how warm someone is to you. Do they have workings to show for it? As a business owner, you must know that you have workings to show for whatever it is you're selling, and then, you also balance it with warmth. I will take one question if we have any question. Any question? Now, in that book, I also talked about how, okay, all right, can we get a mic over to someone there at the back? Someone has a question, please. Quickly. Okay, please, you can ask. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, it's not much of a question. It's just like addition to what is said. So I feel like the strongest arsenal you can have is word of mouth, and word of mouth cascade down from the fact that good customer service. The 7 principles of persuasion by Robert Cialdini, one of them says social proof. People tend to follow what other people are doing, and the only way that is possible is based on the customer service you have provided to them. And one of the 7 C's of customer service also reiterates that fact that the way you handle your customers it has rippling effects, because they are going to keep telling. So if I tell one person, that person can tell 10, that person can tell 20. So that determines the word that you have out there about your brand. So word of mouth goes a long way, and that is based on the fact that your customer service has to be very, very strong for you to be able to achieve that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, AY, for that. Yes, word of mouth, it builds your reputation, right? Instead of spending so much on marketing every time, maybe before you get customers, you have to put out a lot of ads and everything. If you have customers that have been treated well, they make the work easy for you. You can build a lot on referrals, all right? And it doesn't have to be having to get new customers. Remember that it will cost you 5 times more to get new customers than it is to retain the old ones. And then a customer with a bad experience will tell 9 to 15 people about his bad experience. Next week, we'll talk about the Japanese concept of warmth, omotenashi. We'll talk more about warmth, and I hope to see you there. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can bring them next week. Yeah, thank you.
Mm.